Alright guys, I'm going to bring up your next performer. It's a very good friend of mine, performs all over the city, one of my favorites to watch. He's hilarious, you're going to love him. Please give it up for the very funny Mr. Patrick Brandmeier.
Keep it going for Max, everybody, putting this together. Very funny guy. Good to see everybody here. Want to start off with a little about me for those of you who haven't seen me before. I do not have any kids in my basement crawl space. Apparently that's the vibe I give off, and I'm not too fond of it. I hear the word creepy a lot, and I'm not terribly fond of that either. I prefer to think of myself as a people-watching enthusiast. I mean, for some people, the camera adds 10 pounds. Apparently, for me, it adds a trench coat, a rifle, and an ice cream truck. I remember one time someone even compared me to Jeffrey Dahmer. That is completely wrong. We have totally different eating habits. I like all the usual junk food and fast food and stuff. Jeffrey Dahmer was more of a people person. I'm off the market these days, that's right. Recalled due to low demand, that's where I'm at. Ever sign up for a matchmaking website, fill out the profile, ask it to send you to your ideal matches, and it just sends you to the website that sells the blow-up dolls? That's not good. I try to get out and socialize. I remember one time not too long ago, I went out to a nightclub. Everyone there was socializing, having a good time. I was trying to beat the high score on the Pac-Man machine. That part's a joke. Of course I beat the high score. But I did get to talking to a woman that night. She was a raver chick. She had this big colorful wig and these huge furry boots. And at the time, I didn't really get the appeal of that. I mean, I know what works for me. I had done a lot of internet research on that topic. All I'm saying is, Slutty Muppet was not what I was looking for that night. Given the opportunity, I am not so sure I would go down in Fraggle Rock. That's what I'm saying. And I think you know why. Cottonmouth. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. I remember not too long ago I saw something in the news about a shooting at a Planned Parenthood. That was terrible. I got to thinking about what was going through that person's mind when he decided to do that. I mean, maybe his original idea was to go there and have a rational discussion of opinions with the people that worked at Planned Parenthood. But that idea fell through and he went with Plan B. To be fair, it was my cousin that came up with that joke idea. So when I tried it on stage and people laughed, I had to call them and tell them that Plan B worked like a charm. Dare I say, it killed. I will tell you about the craziest news story I ever read. It was about a restaurant in Russia that had as their main attraction a live bear in a cage. Nothing could go wrong. Sure enough, a woman decided to reach into the cage to try to pet the bear, and the bear ripped her arm off. That is a terrible story. But when I thought about it, I realized that in Russia, bears have the right to your arms. Can you imagine if that would have happened here in America? That woman probably would have tried to sue the restaurant. I think that would have been a pretty quick case, though. Your Honor, the defense calls Charles Darwin to the stand. I think we can prove this woman's level of intelligence single-handedly. I've got a pretty good job these days, which is nice. A couple of years ago, I was a 39-year-old part-time Pizza Hut delivery driver. Your life plans went a little sideways when that's what you're doing. I look back on it and I learned quite a few things from that job. First off, nowhere near as exciting as the adult film industry led me to believe. No one was ordering the big sausage special on my shift. I learned that people in that area have interesting ways of budgeting their money. I made a delivery one time and the person decided to pay for their 2-pizza order with a $100 bill. I was like, first off, I don't have that kind of change. Second off, dude, you live in a trailer. You need to use your money a little bit more wisely. Maybe put that money toward a house that doesn't have an emergency brake. Let's start there. I made a lot of deliveries in that trailer park. A lot of speed bumps on the road that went through the trailer park, which I didn't understand because if you live in a trailer park, you're probably not in a hurry to get home. A little more about me. I'm sure you can tell just by looking at me, but I'm a huge fan of professional wrestling. Anyone else in here willing to own up to that? A couple of people, all right. That's not really something you bring up in your first conversation with someone, is it? You don't put that at the top of your Tinder profile. Telling people you watch a lot of wrestling has the same sort of stigma as telling people you watch a lot of porn. Because either way, someone is going to look at what you're watching and they're going to say, come on, no one gets that big naturally. But no one has ever had to sit a porn enthusiast down to tell them, you know they don't really love each other, right? A couple weeks ago, I was driving home from work and I saw a Jeep that had slid off the road and was stuck in a ditch. Didn't look like anyone was hurt. I thought about pulling over to check on the situation, but I figured it was just a Jeep thing I would not understand. I remember over the summer I was driving home from work and I saw a fireworks stand set up in the parking lot of a strip club. Yeah, East Side. When I thought about it, I realized the two businesses have quite a bit in common. Whichever one you go to, you're going to end up spending too much money. You might end up with the burning sensation. And if you mishandle the dice, you could lose a finger. Got the holidays coming up, always good to see the family. I think we all have that one family member, though, who instead of being happy and cheerful for what they have, spend the whole time grumpy and complaining about the stuff they don't have. And for several years in a row, it was the same family member complaining about the stuff that he didn't have. Butter, salt, a white president, all the usual stuff. He finally got his wish. Grandma put out extra butter. There's a lot in the world I don't understand. I mean, a lot of things about holidays I don't understand. I mean, Valentine's Day, not my favorite holiday in the world, as you might have guessed. I just refer to it by its initials, VD. Because both kinds of VD are red, irritating, and expensive. But Valentine's Day is one type of VD that goes away if you ignore it for 24 hours. I'm going to get out of here in a little bit, tell you a little bit more about myself. I heard a song in the recent past. It might have been at the strip club. That part's not important. But I didn't understand the lyrics because in the song, the singer compared his penis to Jesus, which didn't make sense to me because who wants one that takes 3 days to rise? I've been doing this comedy thing for a little while. I don't have any sort of merchandise to sell after the show. But my mom is really big into gardening, so I'm trying to unload some zucchini if anyone's interested. That'll do it for me. I'm Patrick. Thank you, everybody.
Patrick Brandmeier, everybody. Keep it going. All right, the next performer comes to us from Wichita, Kansas. She is hilarious. She was just at Altercation Comedy Festival, and she was also just recently